Hello everyone. During our previous lessons in class, we've already studied the past simple tense. De OVT, de onvoltooid verleden tijd in het Nederlands. Voorbeelden, ik werkte, I worked. We've seen that all regular verbs, that they end in ed. For example, I live, I lived, I start, I started. Yes, and you have all studied your list of the irregular verbs. Today we will continue with the negative statements in the past simple tense. Ontkennende zinnen. Now, what is important to remember? When we take a look at the grammar grid, you can see that there is a difference between verbs like to be and can and all other full verbs. There are mentioned some examples here, but there are more full verbs than the ones that are listed in your grammar grid. What is important to remember is that verbs like to be and can, they don't get the auxiliary verb to do. Yes, so when you want to make to be negative, yes, I was, I wasn't. I wasn't in the short form, I was not in the full form. When we continue, it becomes you were not or you weren't. He or she was not, he or she wasn't. You know that you can use both forms, short form and full form. So these ones are all singular, we, you, and they are all plural, meervoud. They get were not, or in the short form, weren't. With can it is even easier because it becomes could not in the full form and couldn't in the short form from I until they. Now, what do you see that happens with the full verbs? Let's take a look. So normally it was I started. Ik startte. Ik startte niet. I did not start. Number 2. Invited. Ik nodigde uit. Of jij nodigde uit in dit geval. You didn't invite. Je nodigde niet uit. The third one. He or she did not try. So normally it was he or she tried. Hij of zij probeerde. Hij of zij probeerde niet. He didn't try. And so on. Yes? So the thing that you mustn't forget is that with the auxiliary verb to do, that it is always followed by an infinitive. Yes? Our past form is started, invited, tried, gave, went, and lost. These were the past forms, but when we use it in a negative statement, yes, we have to use the auxiliary verb to do, which is always followed by an infinitive. Let's take a look at the notes together. So the notes, they mention actually everything that I have mentioned before. The verbs to be and can, they do not use the verb form did to form negative statements. So I wasn't here and I couldn't do it. So these ones, they are crossed out, they are incorrect. To form negative statements with the ordinary verbs, so dat zijn de gewone werkwoorden. So the, how do they mention it here? The full verbs, yes, or ordinary verbs, they get the auxiliary verb to do, but always followed by an infinitive, yes. Again, these ones, they are incorrect. If you want to express possession, bezit, we have mentioned it before. Normally, if we want to express possession, we use the verb form have got, but not in a negative statement. Yes, if you want to express possession in a negative statement, you have to use did not have or didn't have. Now, when we want to practice, the first exercise is 3.2. This is about film composer Hans Zimmer. In the left-hand column, you read all different statements and they ask us to rewrite them and make the verbs negative. So the first statement is Hans Zimmer was born in Berlin. When we take a look at our original sentence, we see that to be is used in the past form, so was. If we want to make was negative, we don't have to use to do, so the sentence becomes Hans Zimmer wasn't born in Berlin. Let's take a look at number 2. He went to secondary school in Germany. Went is the past form of the infinitive to go. To go doesn't equal to be or can. That means that we have to use to do as an auxiliary verb. So this sentence becomes, he didn't go to secondary school in Germany. So this is how you make the sentences negative, and this is how you complete exercise 3.2. Next exercise is 3.3. You have to fill in the appropriate past form. It can be affirmative or negative, bevestigend of ontkennend, of to be or can. Don't forget to complete the rest of the exercise on page 151. Exercise 3.4 is a reading comprehension. It's a text about Alfred Hitchcock. You read the text with the help of the vocabulary list. You can perhaps also highlight the new words in the text. At page 152, you read 10 statements about Alfred Hitchcock, information that you can find in the text. When the statement is true, you don't have to change anything. Yeah? So you don't have to write something down in the right-hand column. If the information that you read in the left-hand column is false or it's incorrect, you have to correct it by making the sentences negative. So only if necessary. So this is your assignment for this week. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me via Smart School. Good luck!